Alright, what's going on, folks? This is your boy, Dr. Mafune, also known as Cymande Hayes. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome to me entertaining you as best I can. I decided to take on this YouTube venture from inspiration from one of my all-time best friends, Mr. Hagashi-kun. So check him out at Best Spot Replays on YouTube.com. Now, welcome to Monster Talk. We are here. We're going to talk about one of my favorite all-time monster movies. In Japan, this is called Gojira. I don't know if I said it right, but over here, it's known as Godzilla, King of the Monsters. We're going to go and tackle the first film. This film is very important to me and one of my all-time favorites because of the realness that it portrays when dealing with an unknown creature that you have no idea what it's going to do or anything like that. You know what I mean? So I can try to imagine myself back in 1954, having this announcement of like, oh, hey, here comes this big giant creature, Gojira, King of the Monsters, and nobody know what it is or anything like that. You probably heard the ads on the radio, because 1954, there, not many people had TVs like that, if I'm not mistaken. Please correct me if I'm wrong. But I can try to imagine, you know what I mean? And then going to the theaters, and I probably would be like scared out of my wits watching this thing back then, because you'd never seen anything like that. And I think this movie was the first to use a costume, a man in a costume, suitmation, I think they call it. And so it made a great impact. And this movie basically was about this creature that just came out of nowhere, and the scientists had to figure out, this creature is made from nuclear radiation from the nuclear bombing testing out there in the island and everything. You know what I mean? So, and unfortunately about this movie, this movie is based on reality of the Hiroshima bombings, and the people suffer a lot from these bombings and have radiation poisoning. Some even die from radiation, and it's a very unfortunate thing. But the producer got very inspired from the movie King Kong that came over here, and in America. And King Kong was made by claymation, so it took a while to animate. So I guess the producer said that, hey, look, I'm not going to do that, but we're just going to go ahead and just build this suit. So I guess when they first made this design of the creature, it went through like trial and error, many different designs, and they basically came up with one, and they sort of tweaked it. Because at first, in my opinion, the original Godzilla his head was like shaped like a mushroom, which was to represent the bombings of Hiroshima from the nuclear fallout and stuff. So that's what it really represented. But they tweaked the design, and they tweaked the design, and they finally got it right. And just for a little side piece, the guy who tried to wear the suit, it didn't work right because the suit was like way too bulky, and it was super hot in there, and you really couldn't see anything, and it was a tough process of him wearing the suit. But eventually they got something to where as though he could wear it, and then boom, Godzilla was born. You know what I mean? Also, I want to talk about the just how gritty this movie is. You know what I mean? It was nothing fancy, nothing spectacular, no superhero type of crap. It was very grounded in reality, and it's just totally amazing movie. Very grounded in reality. You had the scientists. You had like this weird love triangle. You had the Japanese government, and everybody's trying to figure out what to do with this thing. Once they figure out what it was, and how do we stop it? What do we do? And they tried weapons and things of that sort. It really didn't work. So he was like, well, gee whiz, what is this thing? You know what I mean? But eventually they came with a solution, and they basically defeated Godzilla. And in my opinion, Gojira or Godzilla is the real Godzilla in my opinion. So officially, in my opinion, Godzilla's dead. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people ain't going to like that at all. Oh, he's not dead. But in my opinion, Godzilla's dead. You know, to me, there was only one. So the rest of the movies that came out, in my opinion, were just like, you know, just filler, whatever the case. So the music is all that, man. You know what I mean? I love the music that Mr. Akira Ifukube has composed. In some ways, he reminds me of RZA, and then RZA reminds me of him from Wu-Tang Clan. I guess RZA didn't have that much stuff. Mr. Akira Ifukube didn't have that many, orchestrational pieces. But the little things that he did have, he made the most of it. And he made like this really incredible, raw and gritty soundtrack. I think it's totally amazing. And still to this day, some odd years later, I still listen to it. You know what I mean? So yeah, also speaking of music, what you're hearing in the background is, yes, it's my beats, my music. I am a music producer, so, just listen and enjoy. Also, the American version had the famous actor, Mr. Raymond Burr. God rest his soul. He is no longer with us on this plane. May he rest in peace. He was a phenomenal actor too, and for him to take this role is a very, very awesome thing. He brought relevancy to Godzilla over here in America, because everybody knew who Raymond Burr was. You know what I mean? So they said, well, he's in it, we got to go see this movie. And then when people flocked to the theaters to go see it, they was like, wow, this is totally amazing. You know what I mean? And then again, you got some haters out here that just be like, oh, that old silly thing, who cares about that? So big shout outs to Raymond Burr and then the Burr family for, giving us great memories and stuff. You know what I mean? The Japanese version obviously didn't have Raymond Burr in there. And the Japanese version was different because it was more focused on just other things, you know what I mean? The Americans got this film and sort of chopped things up and, made everything a little bit more extravagant and things of that sort. So, but I really enjoyed the movie. And you know what? Thank you guys for listening to my rambling about my podcast. If you really like what you hear, comment and subscribe. Thank you very much. We're going to move on to Godzilla 1984 in a moment. Peace.